Good morning, madam. My name is Leong. My matric number 25285. So today I would like to present about my proposal of research method. My topic is the consumption pattern of undergraduate students in University Udara Malaysia. Introduction: the consumption pattern is the process by which people search, purchase, and consume products in a way to fulfill all their needs. The consumption pattern is important to predict growth of a country. It's a determinant of a structure of an economy, as it can be an indicator to financial stability of a country. The consumption pattern of various items such as food, clothing, housing, education, recreation, entertainment, traveling, and others. The consumption pattern changes for both micro and macro reasons. At micro level, changes are attributable to the individual consumers' changing tastes, while at the macro level, changes occur due to the structural shift within the environment. Breakout of study: the students are experiencing a special transition period in their life. Financially, they are going through the process of financial dependence to financial independence. However, some students nowadays do know how they must manage their limited financial sources in terms to make sure that money will be enough for them to finish their study. There are many students spend their money differently among gender. For example, women tended to spend more money on clothes, while men spend more money on food. According to the research, women are more likely to report having a budget than men, but women more frequently accumulate a higher amount of credit card debt and total debt. Therefore, early exposure of financial literacy for students is important because it equips the student with the knowledge and skill they need to manage money effectively. Next, problem statement. Students nowadays are inability to manage generally stands for their inexperience in handling money on their own, as opposed to the time when their finance were mainly monitored by their parents. Hence, they are facing difficulties when managing their expenditure. The consumption pattern of university students become a big concern in the society. There are a lot of bankruptcy cases and social problems among the students in Malaysia, which are often related to their financial instability due to poor individual financial management. The students with low self-control are easily influenced by their wants instead of their needs. They are usually easily influenced by the brands, advertisement, attractive of quality of products. So the study is aimed to determine the financial literacy and factors that affect the consumption pattern of the students. And this information will help to reduce the bankruptcy cases in Malaysia. Next, research question. This study was conducted to answer the following question. First, what are the sources of income among the undergrad students in University Udara Malaysia? Second, what are the factors of consumption pattern among students? Third, what is the level of financial literacy among students? Next, research objective. The objective of the study is divided into two, which are general objective and specific objective. Generally, the research is aimed to observe the demographic, income, expenditure, and financial literacy of students. And the research also views the factors that affect the consumption pattern of undergraduate students in Next, specific objective. First, to determine the sources of income among undergraduate students in University Udara Malaysia. Second, to investigate the factors of consumption pattern among UM students. Third, to identify the level of financial literacy of UM students. Next, significance of study. First, many students are not adequately prepared to handle their own finance, and they have poor financial management even though they have more sources of income. Second, the study would prevent university students from engaging in extensive debt, especially credit card debt, and reduce the bankruptcy cases. Third, this study would provide a clear sense of direction for the public university, especially UM, as well as for society, to plan some programs toward achieving financial literacy awareness among students by providing various types of financial management education. Next, research methodology. The research methodology enables researchers to conduct more systematic study to achieve the objective of a study. The research methodology includes research technique, research instrument, and scope of the research. For research technique, first, data sources. The data sources include primary data and secondary data. For primary data, first, questionnaire. The questionnaire was conducted to get the feedback from the respondent. A total of 100 questionnaire forms were suggested to the respondent to get their feedback. Generally, there are 4 main sections in the questionnaire. First section, demographic. Second section, sources of income. Third section, the consumption pattern. And the fourth section, the level of financial literacy. And for interview, this method is used to obtain the information directly from the respondent who want to provide a clearer view in the question of the questionnaire. And additional information can be found for the study. Next, the secondary data. The data is collected through the information such as books, seminars, research papers, and articles that related to the study. Next, data collection method. The primary data were collected through the distribution of the questionnaire to the respondent. 100 of respondents is randomly chosen to as the sample of study using the simple random sampling techniques based on the questionnaire. The questionnaire is divided into 4 sections: demographic, source of income, consumption pattern, and level of literacy. Next, the data analysis method. The data analysis methods involve 2 analyses: descriptive statistic and empirical statistic. The descriptive statistic is applied to establish frequency, mean, and mode, while the empirical statistic is applied to establish the correlation analysis and regression analysis. Next, the research instrument. The computer hardware and software is used to perform the calculation of research data based on the questionnaire. The hardware include the thumb drive and computer, and the software include Microsoft Word, SPSS, and Microsoft Office. The data is presented in the form of tables, pie charts, and bar charts. Next, the scope of the research. First, target study. Respondent is randomly selected in the total number of undergraduate students in UUM. And the sample of study. The sample of study is drawn from the population of the total number of undergrad students living in UUM, comprising differently of gender, ethnic, and semester. The The sampling method of the study is using the simple random sampling. Okay, next, the study area. The study area is University Udara Malaysia (UM), and duration of study. Duration of study is within 1 month. It is from 24th October to 24th November 2020. Okay, so that's all for my presentation for the proposal. Thank you.